One of Arizona's last wild places is under siege and may already be spoiled beyond repair. That's according to environmentalists and adventure seekers.
Investigative reporter Morgan Lowe drove El Camino del Diablo, the Devil's Highway, and found one pristine wilderness has been devastated.
You are getting a driver's seat view of one of the most remote, scenic, and historically dangerous roads in the Southwest. El Camino del Diablo follows a trail blazed by the conquistadors in the 16th century and has been used by settlers, miners, migrants, and adventure seekers ever since. Along the way, we photograph example after example of broken dreams, endless views, stunning sunsets, and countless stars. But it is the solitude that draws visitors here from around the globe. The world may change, but the Camino stays the same, or so we thought. This was one of the roughest, most remote stretches of four-wheel drive trail in the state of Arizona. Now it looks more like a superhighway than the Devil's Highway. A long stretch of the rugged two-track that drew overlanders and naturalists has been replaced with a wide, flat, graded road, smooth enough for semi-trucks to haul supplies south for construction of the border wall.
El Camino del Diablo was in its original form for so long, and it stayed this unimproved route for so long that we had the opportunity to keep it that way.
Scott Brady is the publisher of the Overland Journal and Expedition Portal website. He has traveled the world, but says it was the Camino that got him interested in what is now his vocation.
The fact that you could travel in such a primitive way and experience such a remote location without all of this development, it was one of the rare spots in the country to do that.
Brady says what has happened to the Camino has taken away much of the allure.
There's been such a reduction in the sense of adventure of traveling across it that it has actually become less popular.
Officials with the U.S. Border Patrol say better roads near the border help its agents do a better job. But critics argue this area does not see large numbers of border crossers.
And turning what was once this rugged four-wheel drive route, this ancient, storied travel route, into a thoroughfare that you could drive a semi down at 70 miles an hour. It is a disaster.
Lakin Jordahl is an environmentalist with the Center for Biological Diversity. He was out there the same time we were, and he says the wide roads and the wall are not the only threats to this vast space.
We've seen them install these massive light poles, which they haven't turned on yet, but I fear for the day when lights blast the Cabeza Prieta wilderness and the Camino del Diablo. It'll just ruin any sense of being out there in nature, every sense of remoteness.
One of the last wild spaces is less so today, and some worry may lose its primitive label entirely in the months to come.
I think that is what's disappointing, is that we, because of policy and politics, we emphasized the very, very short term against what was millennia before it.
On the Camino del Diablo, I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.